My next question, this will go for Beer Ninja first. What was the most unexpected game that you've seen on the showcased?
Beers of War Gaming Podcast.
State of Decay 3. I would probably have to say it's my favorite zombie survival game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Left 4 Dead series. I love Dead Rising. I think it ties with it, actually, with Dead Rising. But State of Decay 3 really took me for a wild ride because it's been, I call it development hell, but I don't know what's really going on with it. But I do understand that it's either the developers or whatnot that's actually making the Gears of War series. They're actually helping out with the State of Decay with those publishers and developers, I should say. And when they came out with the trailer, I was like, oh, wow, man, this is like revamped. And I'm almost convinced. I mean, I could be wrong about this, but it not only looked like it was cinematics, but we also saw gameplay. You know, especially when they aimed the gun and shot, shoots and everything like that. And I was like, okay, that's got to be in-game play, which is way different than what you see in State of Decay 2 and everything. So, still, we got no release date, just like we don't have any release date for End-Day or anything like that. E-Day, sorry. And so I was very surprised to see that. I was super excited about it. It's probably my second most favorite video showcase to watch, and that's the one that really surprised the hell out of me. I'm so glad we finally got some more content on it because it is a great survivor zombie series.
Same question for you, Sir Bigness. What was your most unexpected game that you saw?
Perfect Dark. And when they showed this, when I figured out what it was like they finally got it done. Because I think they've been working on Perfect Dark for years. Like, it's in double digits. They're years they've been working on Perfect Dark. Ever since they acquired that studio, I think it was Rare.
Yeah.
That did it on Nintendo 64. But it was good to see it. It's going to be interesting to follow the mythology of it, or to follow the continue the legacy of the story. And it looks like it's going to be a fun game too. First person shooter, kind of reminds me a little bit of Deus Ex. So it's going to be interesting to see what they've done with all that time, I guess you could say.
Yeah, when they started that trailer, I was like, that looks familiar. And I was like, that's Perfect Dark. And yep, I was right. So for me, the most unexpected. What, you got something, Beer Ninja?
Well, I just wanted to say, quick vote between you guys right there. When it came out, I never really played the 64 version until an emulator came out and everything of Perfect Dark. But did you prefer GoldenEye or did you prefer Perfect Dark over GoldenEye?
I played GoldenEye. I dabbled a little bit in Perfect Dark, but never really got into it like I did GoldenEye.
Yep, me too. GoldenEye.
So
I never played GoldenEye. You forget I'm like 10 years older than both of you. I had a whole job back then.
That's your own fault, not ours.
We're grown-ass men now, and we still play video games. So that's not an excuse, sir.
I know.
And by the way, to answer that question, the Xbox show was the developer direct that was in January. Where we got a little bit of a taste of some of these games. And so my biggest unexpected game, and I thought they were done with the franchise, is the new Dragon Age game. I've got 4 or 5 of them on my saved. Purchased 4 or 5 of them to play. Really enjoyed them because it's kind of like, for me, I got into those games because it's kind of a little bit of my fix for Warcraft, but I can't play Warcraft on an Xbox, and I'm not investing in a gaming PC, which I might need to. But yeah, I thought, and the storyline looks like it's going to be pretty fun. The new characters and stuff like that. So that was the biggest unexpected game that that I saw on there.
The good news about Dragon Age coming out is that team can go to work on the next Mass Effect. I needs it. I'm
Yeah.
50.
Like
I'm
I-
almost
like I
51,
said.
people. I needs it.
I didn't even know that they were even working on another Dragon Age. I thought the last one they made, Inquisition, was their last one. So,
I mean, that kind of gives you a testament with Xbox right now, because it's like this whole showcase was full of surprises. A lot of people, most of the time when going to E3, they kind of predicted what was going to be there, and for the most part, a lot of them were right and everything. But like I said, Xbox really pulled out the guns on this one.
They did.
I agree with what you say, Bigness. Is like, this year it's like the year of the Series X, and I even think 2023 actually kind of played into that as well, because we're starting to get a lot more games coming out and everything. A lot more. We're starting to see more things on the scene. So Xbox really played it pretty well. I think this has been the best one. And to be honest with you, yeah, I will miss E3, but I kind of understand now, after everything that's happened, why they want to go their own route, just like PlayStation. Because if you want to really think about it, PlayStation, I think, already had anticipation of doing this years ago before they stopped showing up at E3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm fine with that, because I can actually focus more on what that console is doing, what that generation of consoles is doing and everything, so I can get a better opinion about it. So yeah, if PlayStation's going to do something, like, that's what they need to do. They need to get on the same train like Xbox. You need to bring out the surprises. You need to bring out the big guns and everything like that.
The heavy hitters. We need them.
Yeah, all of us, you, me, we all invested a lot of money in these consoles. It's time to see some payout.
The return on investment. Yeah.
It's time to
Instead of
see a
cranking
return
out,
on
instead of
investment.
cranking out that's something I take issue with, is that they're trying to crank out mid-generation consoles, like updated graphic consoles. Xbox did do that release. They're doing the Series S with more storage, and they're doing the Series X with 2 terabytes. Look, y'all, we dropped $500 on these consoles, and some of us dropped $200 on a memory card, additional controllers. Give us some games. Give us some games. Don't worry about a mid-console release. That's almost insulting, almost a slap in the face. Yeah, we know you did good. We know you spent that money, but here, give us a little bit more so we can put something else on there.
Isn't the new S version they're rolling out, though, has the same graphics as the Series X?
I think
Is that
so.
what this? So now you get
Was it the Series X or the One X?
the Series
The
X.
Series X.
So, because I know the Series S, part of the reason it was a little bit cheaper was the fact that it had a little bit lower graphic quality, and now they're bringing it up to the same level. I don't understand why. If still, what's the difference going to be between an S and an X now, especially these new S's versus the X? Is there something else coming on the horizon with the X? Are they going to come out with an even more powerful
The only thing that I noticed was it's going to have a new color scheme, and it's going to have 2 terabytes of storage. So there's no sense in making an S if it's going to have the X, what's the word I'm looking for? The specs. The specs and everything like that, right?
It makes sense if you don't have to backwards you don't have to, I guess, throttle your games down so that they play on the S and the X. Now you just make everything up to Series X standards. But then that leads to the question, why would you buy a Series X now if the S gives you the same level of performance? Is it for the 2 terabyte hard drive or the disk drive? Why would you buy that?
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Or is it just going to be an all digital console or something like that?
And I think that's to pull the people who haven't taken the plunge and bought the Series X. If they're still playing Xbox One, this is to kind of bring them along so that they can get the full scope, or so they can get everybody on board with this generation before we start to adapt to the next one, because that's coming. We've got maybe 3 years left in this console generation.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question.
Get them up, gentlemen.
1.
Thank you
2.
again. 3. If you drink,
may you drink with me.
You should really mix that with something. You really should.
Good stuff.
Fears of War Gaming Podcast.